All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about something every single creator knows deep in their bones, that relentless, never-ending grind of making content. We're going to break down how you can use AI automation to not just work faster, but to finally get off that hamster wheel for good.
So does this sound familiar? You've got to be consistent, but you're just constantly wrestling with burnout, procrastination, and honestly, the sheer frustration of doing the same boring tasks over and over. Creator Jade Beeson talks about how sometimes the biggest barrier is just the friction of setting up your camera to film. It's those little things, day after day, that add up to that huge problem of burnout.
Okay, but what if there was a totally different way to play this game? This isn't just about saving a few hours here and there. Get this, solopreneur John Rush brings in $3 million a year in recurring revenue. And he does it from a portfolio of tiny, automated AI projects. It just goes to show you the massive potential that's waiting when you stop trading your time for content and you start building smart systems instead. And that right there is the big idea. The solution isn't to just hustle more, to grind it out, to post 5 times a day till you collapse. No way. The real answer is to build smarter systems that do the work for you, using the incredible power of AI automation to really scale your creativity and your business.
So here's our game plan. We're going to climb what you could call a ladder of automation. We'll move through 4 different levels, starting with the simple stuff, automating basic tasks, and building all the way up to a complete transformation of the way you work.
All right, let's start at level 1, task automation. This is all about the low-hanging fruit, the really quick wins. We're talking about automating those individual, repetitive things that just eat up your day and completely drain your creative energy.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? On one side, you have the old way, staring at that dreaded blank page, painstakingly editing audio, wrestling with design software, and on the other, the AI automated way. The point isn't to replace your creativity, right? It's to supercharge it, turning hours of tedious work into just a few minutes. And here's just a taste of the kind of stuff we're talking about. Generating video titles, transcribing audio, chopping up long videos into short clips, even automatically creating invoices. As creator Jono Catliff says, you build these workflows one time, and then you can literally forget about them for the rest of your life. Now that is the power of level 1. Okay, so automating one thing at a time, that's awesome. That's a huge win, and it'll give you back a ton of time. But it gets so much better. What happens when you start connecting these things, creating a kind of domino effect, where one action automatically triggers a whole chain of other actions? And that brings us to level 2. This is where we stop thinking about single tasks and start building full-on content pipelines by linking different AI tools together into one smooth, seamless workflow.
Okay, check this out. This is a perfect example, a fully automated social media machine. It all kicks off when a new article gets published somewhere. An RSS feed grabs it, an AI summarizes it, then another AI writes 5 completely different social media posts. An image generator even makes a unique visual for it, and then boom, everything gets published across all your platforms. And it all happens while you're off doing something else.
And you know what the best part is? You don't have to be some kind of coder to do this. Visual automation platforms like Make.com or NNAN have turned this into, well, it's basically like playing with Lego. Each AI tool is just another block that you can snap together to build these incredibly powerful systems.
All right, now we're climbing higher. This is where it gets really interesting. Level 3. We're moving from pipelines that we have to kick off ourselves to autonomous agents in systems that just run 24/7, creating content for you even while you sleep.
So get this system, which was actually built by Nate Herc, is a legit content factory. It all starts with just one single line in a Google Sheet. That's it. From that one little idea, an AI agent generates all the prompts it needs. Then, other AIs create the images, the video clips, the sound effects, a rendering tool stitches it all together, and a distribution tool posts the final video to every single platform. It is completely 100% hands-off.
And the amount of leverage you get from this is, well, it's just insane. Jono Catliff, who builds these kinds of systems, estimates that his automations save him the equivalent of hiring 30 full-time people every single month. That's the kind of scale we're talking about at level 3.
Okay, but right here, just as we're hitting the peak of technical wizardry, we need to take a hard left turn. Because as automation expert Nick Peru says, you need to stop obsessing over the tools. The tools themselves, they're not really the point. And that brings us to the final level, transformation. This is where we zoom out from just building automations. The real endgame here isn't about being a tech guru who knows every tool. It's about becoming a strategic problem solver who uses AI to fundamentally change how a business actually works.
You see, the most valuable skill isn't just building the thing. It's diagnosing the real problem first. Nick tells this great story about a client who wanted to automate making proposals. But when he dug in, he realized the problem wasn't making the document. Nope, the real bottleneck was the total chaos of getting the right information from the client in the first place. Fixing that process had a way bigger impact than any automation ever could.
And this chart here really breaks it down. It shows the different kinds of impact you can have. See, most people get stuck at Tier 1, just making existing stuff a little faster. But the real game-changing value, that's way up at Tiers 4 and 5, where you're innovating an entire business model or maybe even disrupting a whole industry.
So, okay, how do you actually get to that level? It really comes down to communication. Nick Saryev came up with this brilliant, clear framework for exactly this. It's all about having crystal clarity on the problem, using logic in your steps, providing great examples, being ready to adapt as you go, and then making sure you get the results you actually need. This is the new superpower, guiding AI toward a big strategic business goal.
So here's the bottom line. Being an expert in today's tools, that skill has an expiration date. Think about it, right? A seamstress who could do amazing hand stitching, that skill became a lot less valuable once the sewing machine was invented. It's the same thing here. Being a master at dragging and dropping modules in today's software, that's probably going to be automated away too. But you know what won't be? The ability to diagnose a real business problem and think strategically. That skill is timeless.
And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. As AI gets better and better at handling the how to build the pipeline, how to make the video, our most important job, our most human job, becomes defining the why. Why are we doing this? What's the real problem we're solving? And what is the unique value that only we can bring to the world? That right there is the question that's going to define the future.